What happens in families where noise, drama, and loud emotions, whether it's joy, frustration, anger, or silliness, are either fully embraced or completely shut down? Anger, not welcome. Sadness that's louder than a single tear, not allowed. Frustration, rage, overwhelm, panic, take it somewhere else. Even joy, the wild, silly, belly laugh kind, gets side eyed at. If you were raised in a no drama, no noise house, you probably weren't taught how to process your emotions. You were instead taught how to swallow them. People who hear the whisper of I want more and instantly shut it down with guilt. People who don't even know what they feel, just a vague sense of emptiness. What was the emotional culture of your home growing up? Was it loud, quiet, explosive, muted? Were certain emotions welcome while others got shut down? Hi, and welcome to Soul Velocity. I'm your host, Snehal Singh, a coach and author, and someone who deeply is obsessed with helping people reclaim their full, unapologetic, radiant selves. Today, we're diving into a really powerful conversation, one that most of us have experienced in some form, but rarely stop to question. What happens in families where noise, drama, and loud emotions, whether it's joy, frustration, anger, or silliness, are either fully embraced or completely shut down? How does it shape us? And more importantly, what does it mean for how we raise ourselves and raise the next generation? If you have ever been called too loud, too sensitive, too dramatic, or simply too much, this episode is for you. Let's start with the scene. So picture this. A living room, so tidy, even the remote control knows where its exact GPS coordinates are. Cushions flopped, voices low, smiles polite. You can practically smell the need for perfection in the air. And floating around like invisible wallpaper in an unspoken rule. No shouting, no crying, no unnecessary noise, and no drama ever. And the goal? Keep the peace. Be good, be polite, be agreeable, behave. And let's be real, on the surface, it looks flawless. People visiting even might whisper, oh, what a well-mannered family, like such peaceful kids, how disciplined they were. Yes, except here's the cosmic plot or a twist nobody talks about. In these homes, peace doesn't actually mean emotional safety. It doesn't mean calm nervous systems. It doesn't mean regulated, emotionally intelligent humans. No, it often means emotional suppression dressed up as a good behavior. Anger, not welcome. Sadness that's louder than a single tear, not allowed. Frustration, rage, overwhelm, panic, take it somewhere else. Even joy, the wild, silly, belly laugh kind, gets side eyed at times. Why are you so loud? Can you not jump around like that? Stop being so dramatic. The message is crystal clear. Even when it's never said out loud, big emotions make you a problem. Small emotions make you lovable. Here's the kicker. These are often well meaning households. It's not that parents wake up thinking, how do I emotionally damage my child today? No, most of the times it's passed down generationally. A family survival code that says, if you want to be accepted, stay small, stay quiet, stay contained. Because their parents probably taught them that good kids are quiet kids because their parents have probably told children should be seen, not heard. And here we are, still running the same tired, outdated, emotional operating system like a phone that desperately needs an update. But let's tell the truth and let's be loud about it. A home where anger isn't allowed, is a home where boundaries don't get built. A home where sadness isn't welcome is a home where grief festers into numbness. And a home where wild, messy, playful joy gets dimmed is a home where creativity suffocates. This isn't peace, it's emotional censorship. And guess what? Silence isn't always serenity. Sometimes silence is a scream muffled into a pillow. And if this is hitting a little too close to home, you're not alone. We are the generation learning to call it out, name it, heal it. And it starts right here by asking one simple question. Does my definition of peace require me or my kids to abandon who we really, really are? All right, let's be real for a moment. When a household runs on the silent gospel of no noise, no drama, no big feelings, it might look peaceful on the outside, but inside, it's like living in an emotional pressure cooker with a valve super glued shut. Because here's the thing about emotions, they don't disappear just because you pretend they're not there. They're not, they don't pack their bags and say, oh, you don't like anger? Cool. We'll head out and have a nice life. No. They stay, they simmer. And when they're allowed to be expressed healthily, they get sneaky. And here's how it actually shows up. Suppressed anger doesn't vanish into it morphs into passive aggression, silent treatments, bottled resentment, or internalized shame. I must be a bad person for feeling this. Suppressed sadness, it turns into numbness, disconnection, the kind where you smile and say, I'm fine, while the soul quietly whispers, no, you're not. Suppressed joy, oh, that's a real tragedy. It becomes self censorship, the chronic dimming of your own light. Don't be too excited, don't be too much, don't make a scene. And let's talk about the nervous system. Kids growing up in these no drama zones don't become calm. They become hyper vigilant, always scanning the room like, is this okay to say? Can I cry right now? If I laugh too loud, will someone snap? Their bodies learn this equation. Safety is equal to being invisible. And guess what? That survival strategy doesn't magically dissolve when they turn 18. It becomes then the adult who apologizes for having needs, the coworker who never speaks up in meetings, a partner who stuffs their feelings until they explode or implode. And here's the wild irony. A household obsessed with keeping the peace ends up raising adults who don't know what peace actually feels like. They confuse calmness with emotional numbness, believe that being low maintenance or drama free makes them good, even if it's killing their joy from the inside. If you were raised in a no drama, no noise house, you probably weren't taught how to process your emotions. You were instead taught how to swallow them, dress them up, hide them, package them neatly behind a polite smile. And the scariest part, you probably thought that was normal. You probably thought that was love. But here's the truth no one told you. Love doesn't require your silence. Love doesn't ask you to be smaller than you are. If your body is quietly screaming, yes, this is me right now, guess what? You are not broken. You are not dramatic. And you're not too much. You are a fully feeling human in the world that trained you to mute yourself for someone else's comfort. But you don't have to play that game anymore. This isn't realization or just realization. I would say this is a reclamation. It is where healing starts. Okay, so we have dragged no noise, no drama myth out into the daylight. looked it square in the face, and called it what it is: emotional suppression disguised as peace. But now let's flip the script. What about the other kind of home, the loud home? Now, not loud as in chaotic 24/7 meltdown disaster, but loud in the sense of everything that is allowed. Anger is allowed, sadness is allowed, laughter that rattles the ceiling is allowed, very much allowed. Dancing in the kitchen at midnight and, just bring it on. Or screaming in frustration, yep. But we'll figure out what's underneath it. These homes, they are alive. They breathe, they pulsate with expression, they sound like real humans living real lives, not robots walking on eggshells. And here's what's wild. To outsiders, they might look messy, loud, even chaotic. You might hear a fight break out about those, who turn it to the dishes, and then 20 minutes later the same voices convert or are roaring with laughter over some ridiculous joke that no one else would probably find funny. Because in these homes, conflict isn't crisis. It's just a part of being in a relationship. But let's get something straight, okay? This isn't about raising screamers. It's not about glorifying rage or giving free passes to emotional dumping. No, 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 no. This is about creating a space where the message is all of you is welcome here. The mad, the sad, the silly, the messy, the radiant, the frustrated, every flavor of you. It's not don't be angry. It's let's learn what anger is telling us. It's not stop crying, but it's safe to cry here. It's not calm down before you come and talk to me. It's come as you are. We'll figure it out together. And here's the real magic. In these homes, kids, and let's be honest, adults too, learn that anger doesn't equal danger. Sadness isn't weakness. Big feelings don't destroy connection, as there's a repair after rupture. They learn how to fight without destroying each other. They learn how to disagree without disconnection. They learn that love does not require good vibes only. And guess what happens to the nervous system? Their nervous system knows how to relax, regulate, and trust. Because when you know that the worst thing you can feel won't get you rejected or shamed or silenced, your body stops walking around bracing for impact. And let me be crystal clear about something. This is not about the homes that are loud because of chaos, violence, or constant disrespect. That's not freedom. That's trauma with the volume turned up. True emotional safety isn't chaos. It's correlated vileness. It's structured freedom. It's a family culture that says, yeah, we have big feelings, but no one gets thrown under the bus for it. No one gets abandoned for being a human. We handle it and we handle it together. A home that welcomes full range of emotions raises humans who are emotionally literate, psychologically flexible, comfortable with both intimacy as well as boundaries, and not afraid of their own bigness or anyone else's bigness. So the next time someone raises an eyebrow and says, your house is so loud, smile and say, yep, it's loud, it's messy, it's full of life, and it's safe. Let's get brutally honest. When homes silence emotions, whether through that no nonsense, no drama vibe or through reactive volatility without repair, the biggest damage isn't just the fights that never happened or the tantrums that were shut down or the laughter that got muffled. The deepest wound in this is disconnection from self. Let's name it plain and simple. When your anger wasn't allowed, you didn't just lose your voice. You lost your ability to recognize when something wasn't okay. When your sadness was dismissed with stop crying, it's just fine. You didn't just stop crying, you stopped trusting your own pain as valid. When your wild joy was met with calm down, don't make a scene, you didn't just tone it down, you started believing that your bigness was a burden. What does that turn into as an adult? As I said, people who apologize for having needs, people who don't trust their own instincts, people who hear the whisper of, I want more, and instantly shut it down with guilt. People who don't even know what they feel, just a vague sense of emptiness. It's not that they don't feel, it's that they have learned to feel only what is socially acceptable. Here's the worst part. When you spend your whole life avoiding anger, you stop recognizing violations of your boundaries. When you spend your whole life muting sadness, you stop recognizing grief as a portal to healing. When you spend your whole life dimming your joy in that light, you stop allowing yourself to feel pleasure, creativity, aliveness. And let's talk about relationships. When you are disconnected from your own emotions, you attract relationships that reflect, you tolerate what you shouldn't, you shrink so others don't feel uncomfortable, you mistake low maintenance for being lovable, you think being easy to deal with is your worth instead of being someone whose feelings, needs, and boundaries matter. So let me drop the truth bomb right here, right now. Being the chill, cool, never a bother person isn't a personality trait. It's a survival strategy you learned to stay safe in spaces where your emotions were labeled as too much. And guess what? It's not your fault. But it is your responsibility now to come back home to yourself. Coming home to yourself sounds like saying, I'm actually not okay, and that's valid. Saying I'm angry and that doesn't make me a bad person. Saying I deserve to be joyful, as loud, as radiant, as messy as I damn well please. And it sounds like no more making myself smaller for anyone else's comfort, including my own conditioning. Because here's the truth. Suppressing anger does not create peace. Suppressing sadness does not create resilience. And suppressing joy does not create humility. It just creates disconnection. And the price for that? Too high. Way too high. This is the moment where so many of us realize that the revolution is not just about healing your relationships with others, it's about healing one with yourself. All right. So we have called out the myths, we have unpacked the damage, we have dragged self abandonment into the light where it has nobody left to hide. But now comes the juicy part, the part where we ask, if that's not the way, then what is? Okay, let's set this straight. The goal isn't to glorify chaos or to demand silence. It's not. Everyone screams and throws things until we feel better. No thanks. And it's definitely not everyone keep it nice, tidy, and emotionally constipated at all times. Hard pass for that as well. The real goal is balance. A home where every emotion is allowed, but every behavior is guided. Simply saying anger is allowed, throwing things is not allowed. Sadness, absolutely welcome, but blaming everybody for it, not at all. Joy, turn it all the way up. Disrupting someone's boundaries with it, let's learn the balance. It sounds like this. It's okay to be angry. Let's figure out what it's trying to tell us. You're so frustrated. I hear you. Your feelings are valid. Wow, you're really excited. I love seeing that. Let's channel it into something awesome. It's it's where it's easy to say it's safe to cry here. You don't have to rush through it. It's welcoming someone by saying, "Hey, I love all your feelings. All of you is safe with me." And this is the reframe nobody taught us. Anger isn't aggression, sadness isn't weakness, joy is not disruption. Emotions are messages, behavior is a choice. I'll say that again. Emotions are messages, behavior is a choice. When you separate the two, boom, emotional literacy unlocked. And guess what it does to the kids and to the adults who are raising them? It builds humans who don't implode when things get hard, don't explode because they have been stuffing everything down for the decade, know how to say, "I'm upset, but I still love you," and understand the conflict isn't the end of the connection. And let's be honest, this is not just for parents, guys. This is for the inner child still living inside every single adult who was taught silence is safety. The friend who never says when something hurts until it builds up like a volcano. The partner who does not know how to name their needs without a guilt. It's for you, for me, for all of us. The magic formula looks very simple. It's freedom to feel, plus tools to express, plus culture of repair equals to emotional health. Let's talk a little bit about repair now. You will mess it up. You will say the wrong thing. You will raise your voice sometimes and you will shut down on a bad day. That's not the problem. The problem is when no one ever circles back and says, "Hey, I got overwhelmed. I didn't handle that well. I'm sorry. Let's talk." Repair is the bridge between rupture and reconnection. Without it, emotional landmines will be there everywhere. With it, emotional resilience will be there for life. So the goal isn't perfect peace, the goal is safe honesty. A home, a relationship, a community where the unspoken agreement is all of you is safe here, even when it's messy, even when it's big, we will figure it out together. You feel that shift? That's your nervous system going, "Oh, yes, this is what safety actually feels like. Oh, yes, this is where it gets intimate, reflective." Let's slow down for a moment. Take a deep breath for real right now. Inhale, hold, exhale, let it go. Because this right here is the sacred pause. The moment where information becomes transformation. And let's get honest with ourselves. You've heard a lot in this conversation. It probably stirred something inside you, a memory, a realization, a truth that you have always felt but didn't have words until now. So let's name it. What was the emotional culture of your home growing up? Was it loud, quiet, explosive, muted? Were certain emotions welcome while others got shut down? Which emotions did you learn were acceptable and which ones got you labeled as difficult, too much, too loud? What survival strategies did you pick up? Did you shrink, people please, or go numb? I did people pleasing for nearly half of my lifetime until I realized this. Or did you pick up survival strategies where you became the fixer, the peacemaker, the one who's always holding it together? And now, how does that show up in your life today? Do you suppress your needs to keep the peace? Do you avoid conflict like it's a lava and or do you explore because you were never taught how to express safely? And here's my powerful question to you. Who did you have to become to be safe, loved, and accepted? And who are you underneath that? I would invite each one of you to probably journal these. And in the comments of this video, you would find a list of prompt questions where, if you don't know how to start journaling, they might help you. Because here's the sacred truth: you were never too much, you were never over dramatic, you were never difficult. You were and are a human, a soul with emotions that were always valid, even if the world wasn't ready for them. And now it's your turn. It's your turn to be the safe space you never had for yourself, for the next generation, for anyone lucky enough to be loved by you. Let's breathe that in deeply. You're safe to feel, you're safe to be big, and you're safe to be fully, unapologetically you. Here's the truth no one told you, but you have always deep down suspected it. Peace isn't absence of noise. Peace isn't absence of big emotions. Peace isn't walking on eggshells, whispering your needs, or squeezing yourself into the version that feels acceptable. Peace instead is a presence of safety. Safety to be loud, to be messy, to be angry, overjoyed, silly, radiant, frustrated, heartbroken, excited, and still loved. The old rules might have said, be quiet to be good, don't rock the boat, tone it down or it'll be too much. Guess what? Those rules are lies. Outdated programming, dusty relics of survival system that does not belong to you anymore. You are allowed to delete them, burn them, rewrite them. Your new rules sound like this: I'm allowed to take up the space. My feelings are valid, even if they're inconvenient. I do not shrink to be loved. I expand to be fully seen. And I can be loud, joyful, angry, and safe all at once. It's not just changing how we communicate with others, it's changing how we communicate with ourselves. It's looking in the mirror after decades of muting, shrinking, perfecting, and saying, I refuse to abandon myself ever again. And if you are parenting, loving, leading, or even just healing yourself, the greatest gift you will ever give is this: a home, a relationship, a nervous system, a body where no one has to earn their right to exist fully. Where loud laughter and loud crying are both welcome. Where conflict doesn't mean disconnection. Where rupture always leads to repair. Because the ultimate truth is, when you are safe to be fully you, you become the safest person in the room for everyone else too. So whether you're the child who was old to calm down, the adult still recovering from stop being dramatic, or a parent now realizing, oh damn, I've said that too. This isn't about blame. This isn't about breaking cycles. This isn't about blame, but this is about breaking cycles. This is about coming home. Coming home loud, joyful, angry, messy, radiant, and absolutely, completely safe. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. If this episode landed in your bones, do share it, tag me, message me. Let me know what cracked open for you. And if you needed someone to remind you today, let it be me. You are not too much. You never were too much. You were never meant to be small. You are a whole universe. Loud, wild, beautiful, and worthy. So until next time, stay loud, stay loving, and most importantly, stay you.